focusing on Standard 2, knowing the content and how to teach it. This standard falls under the professional knowledge domain and contains 6 focus areas, 2.1 to 2.6. We'll now explore and provide you with some practical examples of each of these focus areas. Standard 2.1, Content and Teaching Strategies of the Teaching Area. This standard requires you to demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the concepts, substance, and structure of the content and teaching strategies of the teaching area. Some of the ways in which this may be demonstrated in practice are through your written observations and engagement in professional discussions with your mentor, demonstrating your ability to identify different teaching strategies, as well as understand the important association between content and strategy. Also through your planning, by demonstrating your ability to implement strategies developed and or modelled by your mentor, accurately use language, terms, definitions, and written resources, use resources provided by your mentor and show initiative in sourcing your own additional resources, and essentially demonstrating your content knowledge throughout your planning, as well as through your written reflections surrounding this area, whereby you have demonstrated your ability to respond to mentor feedback and adjust your planning. Standard 2.2, Content Selection and Organisation. This standard requires you to demonstrate knowledge and skill in organising content into an effective learning and teaching sequence. Some examples of how this might be demonstrated in practice are through your planning, by demonstrating your ability to implement a plan as modelled and developed by your mentor. Identify the importance of sequencing and planning by outlining the lesson purpose and structure, using a clear introduction and conclusion, identifying and furthermore focusing on the key content, and beginning to develop well-structured lesson plans by the end of your practicum. Also through your practice by developing strategies and approaches for assessing student understanding during lessons, as well as engaging in professional conversations with your mentor, demonstrating your understanding of the context of content within a unit, and as well through your written reflections, with the guidance of your mentor, reflecting upon and adjusting lesson plans. Standard 2.3, Curriculum Assessment and Reporting. This standard requires you to use curriculum, assessment and reporting knowledge to design learning sequences and lesson plans. Some of the various ways that this might be demonstrated in practice are through your observation notes that you have taken about assessment and or moderation, your planning by demonstrating the knowledge of relevant curriculum documents, and with the guidance of your mentor beginning to plan assessment items in formal or formal. Through your practice by using evaluation techniques and assessment items to gain relevant feedback on student learning in formal or formal, and providing feedback to students in some form as modelled by your mentor. The evidence specifically might be through the different forms of feedback that you provide to your students, both formally and informally, as well as your attendance in parent-teacher interviews, conferences or moderation sessions, and any written observations that you may have taken from these. And finally, Standard 2.5, Literacy and Numeracy Strategies. This standard requires you to know and understand literacy and numeracy teaching strategies and their application in teaching areas. Some examples of how you might demonstrate this in practice are through professional discussions with your mentor, demonstrating your awareness of the curriculum documents and policies within the school. Through your planning, so with the guidance of your mentor, planning for literacy and numeracy in various learning areas. And through your practice and associated written reflections, demonstrating an awareness of the importance of and ability in teaching and modelling of English language conventions, and an awareness of the importance of and ability in teaching and or modelling of appropriate numerical conventions, and your ability to explicitly teach the language of a content discipline. Take some time now to consider some of the other ways that you might be able to demonstrate these focus areas in practice,